everybody. Welcome to Kwaku Festival in Amsterdam South Coast, my favorite part of the city. It's a special edition of Kwaku, the 50th edition of Kwaku. What began as a football tournament in 1975 has turned into a giant music festival that attracts about 300,000 people all over the Netherlands. Let's go right in and see what it's all about. So this is Nelson Mandela Park in Amsterdam South Oost or Southeast in English. How fancy is this? Utatu Madiba from South Africa has an entire giant park. It's a really big park named after him. It was named after him in 2014. Previously it was called the Belma Park. Belma spelled Bijlmer, Belma. It's been there for a very long time. I don't remember when, probably in the 1960s. And then, as a matter of fact, as you can see, this is what we affectionately call the black side of Amsterdam, where many black people, predominantly of Surinamese origin, come from. And there you saw it, the Surinamese flag. Most Surinamese people arrived in probably 1970s, more specifically 1975, just as well that Kwaku was begun in 1975 as a way of having black Afro-Caribbean kids be able to integrate into the Netherlands, as many people at that time could not afford to go for summer vacation in featherweight destinations like the Italies and the Spains and whatnot. So somebody came up with this and said, hey, let's just do a summer festival. What was just a football tournament has turned into this giant thing. So a lot of people don't know the country Suriname. It's actually in South America, just above Brazil, and it is sandwiched between French Guyana and British Guyana. And yes, for the uninitiated, Suriname is a former Dutch colony. So what it means is that it was once upon a time in its life also called Dutch Guyana. As we all know, maritime history. I really need every black person in this planet to familiarize themselves with maritime history and stop focusing on this petty history of the countries as you know them today. You really have to understand the shipping routes and what was actually going on 400 or 500 years ago. So yeah, the French were there, the Dutch were there, the British were there, and the Portuguese were literally on the other side in South America. So Surinamese people have the same relationship with the Netherlands, the same way that Jamaican people have with the United Kingdom and some of them in the United States, the same way that Black American people also have the same relationship with the United States as well. Or, of course, as you would expect, any person of black extraction and the relationship that they have with the European colonizer of the day in which their ancestors were colonized or enslaved. And so, yeah. Slavery ended in Suriname in 1863 in an event called Ketikoti, or breaking the chains in the Sranantongo language, which, by the way, is quite similar to the Ghanaian language because many people of Surinamese extraction are traced to have come from Ghana. As a matter of fact, some of them were able to rebel from the Dutch enslavers, and they were actually never enslaved at all. So upon arriving in South America, they immediately fled into the interior of South America to difficult areas that the Dutch were unable to find them, and they were literally never colonized or enslaved at all. So Independence Day literally doesn't apply to them at all. So these would be the people that are, lack of a better word, usually called the Maroons. I don't like that term, but anyway, that's what it's used. So they are from the people who are living in the inlands of Suriname. And then obviously when the Dutch didn't have workers, as you would know, that colonization would then recruit indentured workers from the Far East into Suriname, as well as South Africa, of course. So what you have is that Suriname evolved into a country which had a large African population, as well as a large Hindu population, as well as a large Chinese population. So dare I say that in present times, Suriname is easily one of the most diverse countries in the world. So in the Netherlands, you come across somebody, and if they say they're from Suriname, you are going to get a different skin tone that you'll be looking at. So again, I really need people of black extraction to familiarize ourselves with maritime history and how migration works beyond just the countries that you know as you know them today. And so that's a little bit of Suriname history, and yeah, this is what Kwaku looks like. And then Kwaku, of course, like I said, that it's a Ghanaian word meaning born on a Wednesday, as the Surinamese people have a strong connection with Ghana, and lucky for them, they still can trace it. If you watched Ketikoti Day, which is the ending of slavery celebration, some Surinamese people were in Ghana, and there was a large homecoming celebration in 2025 this year. And so yeah, that's a little piece of Suriname history, a country that a lot of people don't know much about.
No, you see the guy scoop out. The guy scoop out.